Well there, hello folks. Gamer Dude, Tech Dude coming at you live. How you all doing today, folks? I hope you're all having a wonderful morning so far. It is now 10:13 a.m. my time, and hello to those whoever are out there. Welcome to my stream. Today we're going to be discussing about GPUs, which are your famous graphics cards that are used in your PCs today. Today we're going to talk about a particular GPU. We're going to be discussing RTX versus non-RTX, and do you really want ray tracing or not? So we're going to take a closer look at that. I hope you guys enjoy the show, and before I get into it and dig into this, please help me by subscribing to my channel and liking my video and hitting that bell notification icon so you know when I go live. Okay, so let's get right into it. Now today's GPUs are getting much faster, and the CPUs on these things are getting a lot quicker, the chipsets and whatnot. Today we're going to ask ourselves, is it really worth the upgrades? Is it really worth spending the extra money on an RTX series, or are you better off with a GTX series? So we're going to take a look at all three different sides. We're going to take a look at the GTX 1660 Ti. We're going to take a look at the RTX 200 series, mainly the 2060 series, and we're going to talk about the brand new chipset, the 300 series that just came out, which is the 3070. So the big question is it worth the upgrade? Now, this my comments and my suggestions and my ideas are all they're all mine and mine only. You may beg to defer to some of my comments. That's completely fine, and please leave any comment or like in the description below. I really appreciate it. Just remember that these are my my ideas, and these are my thoughts on it, and we're just gonna go on from there. So first off, we're gonna talk about the two powerhouse GPUs, the 1660 GTX, and we're gonna talk about the 2060 RTX, which are pretty much in the same family. Only one's a GTX, the other is an RTX. RTX stands for ray tracing. What is ray tracing? Ray tracing is to make your graphics look a lot more visual, make it look a lot more better, more shininess, more textures, making it look everything that your surroundings, to make them look as if they're almost real. Your regular GTX does not have that. However, the GTX and even the 1080 are still very valuable cards these days, and will get you pretty decent gaming on those two GPUs. Now, here's the problem with the RTX, and I'm sure every gamer knows, and every person knows out there that's a gaming buff and has spent close to thousands of dollars on a gaming system. When you get into using anything above the 60 refresh rate, the 144, the 240 hertz, we all know that if you turn on the ray tracing, you're going to take a huge hit on your GPU. So for an example, you're playing a game, say like Battlefield 5, or you're playing the new Call of Duty, and you're getting 120 frame rates per second, and you're running pretty darn smooth. And I'm just using this as an example. And then and that's running at 60 hertz, and all of a sudden you go to 144 or 240, you take a huge hit, possibly even half of the 120 or even lower, depending on the graphics. That's where I draw the line. I'm not saying that they're bad cards, and I'm not saying that you shouldn't get one and you shouldn't spend the money. But I'm just pointing out that you really should watch a lot of the videos, look at a lot of the benchmarks, and then watch a lot of the reviews. Today's day and age, we all want the fastest and the greatest stuff. And for me, I think the 200 series is a great choice. They're pretty comparable to the 1660. I was been pricing some of the desktops, and the 1660 is almost the same, maybe $100 to $2 maybe $100 to $200 more US to get yourself a 2060 card, which is not a big, huge difference really. And if you're looking for a future-proof gaming platform PC, then I would look no further than a 2060. But just bear in mind that a lot of your games that you are going to play are not going to run so well with the RTX enabled anything above the 60 hertz refresh rate. So keep that in mind. Now that doesn't mean that you cannot play it. That does not mean that you cannot play the game. You kind of have to play around with the graphic settings within the game. Some games will run faster than others. Some games will lag than others. So you just kind of have to tweak them out. For me, I'm kind of disappointed. And I'll get into that. The reason why I'm kind of disappointed, because with the 300 series just coming out, and they're around $400 or $500 for the graphics card, I was expecting more of a fluent, supportive card that will work with today's PCs. And I've been reading a lot of the reviews, and I've been hearing from a lot of the hardcore gamers and a lot of the streamers that stream on Twitch and whatnot, that even with an i7 10th generation CPU, or even the new i9 processor, believe it or not, they are having a bottleneck with the CPU. The CPU is the bottleneck, or yeah, the CPU and the GPU are a bottleneck to the PC. And we're talking people that have 32 gigs of memory and 1 to 2 terabyte SSD drive. You know, what's wrong with this picture, NVIDIA? Come on, fix this. In fact, there is an article, I'll have to post it in the show notes, that a group of people have found out that the farming method within these GPUs is actually what's causing a lot of these lower benchmarks, a lot of these lower refresh rates and FPS, because apparently they figured it out, they know how to fix it, but then what the saddest part is, NVIDIA is going to have to somewhat recreate or restructure these new cards, and they're basically going to have to stop the production on the ones that are out right now and then revise them because of all the different chipsets, all the different chips that are on the GPU itself. So, I mean, would I buy a 300 series right now? I don't think so. I don't think I would buy a 300 series right now. They're just not, you're not going to get really the bang for the buck. I mean, and that's to say, if you have the money to spend, then sure, you know, by all means, go buy yourself a 300 series card. I'm not telling you not to. It's just that for the money that they get for these things and for the performance that you get, you would assume that you're going to get something better than what you paid for. Okay. The 200 series is an awesome choice. Any of them from the 2060 to the 2070 and to the 2080, you're going to get an awesome experience. Okay, but just keep in mind that if you go into the higher hertz, 144 or 240 hertz on the graphics with ray tracing on, you are going to suffer quite a bit of packet loss, or your frame rate's going to get chopped almost in half, if not less than that. I saw people doing reviews on it, and for an example, on GTA 5, I saw people getting anywhere from 20 to 35 FPS, running out to 144 hertz. um, full 1080, and they were taking one heck of a hit. So just keep that in mind. That you know, they're but again, games are not really there's not a lot of games out there content-wise that even support the RTX series just yet. They haven't really perfected it. There are a few games out there that do, so keep that in mind as well. But if you get yourself, you know, the RTX 200 series, you're gonna get yourself a very nice card, nonetheless. And for that, it's gonna be full future-proof. As far as memory for your system, 16 gigs of memory memory for your PC is bare minimal. With today's new graphics cards, I would consider getting at least 32 gigs nowadays. That's kind of like the sweet spot right now. As far as processor wise, I would either go with like an i7 9th or even a 10th generation, and or even the i9 if you could afford it. I mean, you're not going to go wrong with either one of those CPUs. As far as AMD, I would go with the Ryzen 5 or even the Ryzen 7. The Ryzen, or did I say Ryzen 5? Sorry, I meant to say Ryzen 7 and Ryzen 9. With the Ryzen 7, I would go with like the 5600 series. I've heard a lot of good reviews about that, and I've been looking at a lot of the benchmarks, and people have been getting really awesome performance with that particular one. And then of course the Ryzen 9, which I don't really have a lot of information on just yet. It's a fairly new processor, just like the i9 from Intel. So either one of those CPUs are going to get you a pretty decent gaming system. And then I can't stress more so the cooling of your PC. You want to make sure that you always have, excuse me here, you always want to make sure that you have a decent amount of cooling in your gaming system, because when you start, you know, going into games and you start getting into high level graphics and stuff, it's really gonna eat up that power. So make sure that you get yourself adequate cooling system for your PC or your laptop. PC, you can go with liquid cooling, or you can go with a really strong processor fan with a really good, you know, cooling type system. Or if you have a laptop, I would definitely recommend getting one of those cooling pads that the laptop sits on top of them. They go around for $25 to $30 US, and they're pretty darn cheap, and it will keep your laptop running really nicely. They come with a 5 or 6 fans on it, and you want to make sure that if you get one of those cooling pads, you want to make sure that you have the 2 USB ports on it, because when you use it, it's going to take one of your USB ports on your laptop. So make sure that if you get one of those cooling pads, that you get the extra USB port on that, because I would hate for you to go out and buy one of these cooling pads and you're going to use a port, and you're going to sacrifice a port for the cooling fan. So keep that in mind, that if you go and you buy a cooling pad for your laptop, make sure it has 2 USB ports, okay? That's my suggestion. So that's pretty much it, guys. I just wish that before NVIDIA came up with the 300 series, I just wish that they would have kind of done more benchmarkings on these type of things, because us gamers, you know, we do benchmarks ourselves on these types of things, and we see the numbers, you know, and we crunch the numbers from every single resolution to every single refresh rate and every hertz. So, you know, we have a chart that we go by, and we compare it with games side by side, and we show you the numbers. We show you the FPS versus the 144, 240 with the 60 on the same game, and we give you the number of the FPS. It could be 120 over for the 60, 144 could be somewhere within the 60 range, and the 240 can be somewhere within the 30, maybe 25, 30 range. So you are taking a huge hit. Why this is, I don't know. I just think that the today's GPUs are just so powerful that your system becomes somewhat of a bottleneck. It's almost like the PC is slower than the GPU. Of course, I don't know the mechanics of it. I don't know the architect of it. You know, from a techie's standpoint, the people that are working on the chipsets and not, you know. So, you know, that's just my own opinion. So, do I like RTX? Yes, I do. I think ray tracing is the next thing of the future. I think it's the closest thing that we're going to see in any video game, that we're going to start seeing realistic sightings. You know, I'm talking about water. I'm talking about mountains, hills, dirt, roads, textures on walls, textures on vehicles, all that stuff, you name it. I've seen it. It's pretty awesome. It's awesome technology. I just wish that they could figure out what the real bottleneck is, you know, because these PCs are very powerful. They should be capable of, you know, pushing that power without a scratch. They should be able to push the power without having any hiccups. So it's, you know, it's just one of those things. You know, we're going through an era right now where we're starting to see realistic gaming now, and with VR coming out, it's only going to get better. And I think companies like ATI and excuse me, AMD and Intel, I mean, we're starting to see, or GeForce and NVIDIA, and we're starting to see some really good graphics now. So it's becoming the new gaming era now. So, you know, it's going to be interesting in the next couple of years what we're going to see. So, do I think it's a really good technology? Yes, I do. Do I think that you should spend $400 or $500 on the 300 series? Well, that's up to you. I wouldn't just yet. I think the 200 series cards are just fine. You're probably going to get yourself at least another 5 or 6 years before you have to upgrade. I know somebody that streams, and they just got through building a new PC. I forgot the specs, but it was like 7 or 8 year foolproof PC. I'll have to look at the specifications and the internal parts of that, but I'm sure it was, I don't know if it was like a AMD Ryzen 9, and I don't know if he put a 300 series or 200 series. I know it was an RTX card. I just don't remember which one it was. It might have been a 300 series. It's hard to say. Now, that's not to say that the GTX 1660 Ti is not a good card. The 1660 Ti card is a very nice card. In fact, you're only going to see maybe a 10 to 15% FPS, you know, percentage by getting a 2060 card, as opposed to the 1660 Ti. But again, you're not going for the full ray trace, so you should see really good numbers with the 1660. However, price-wise, I've been looking at the prices and stuff, and it's about maybe $100 to $200 more for a 2060 these days. So, I mean, you can get a 1660 full PC for about $1,000, and with the 2060 graphics card for a little over $1,000. So, I mean, that's why I said if you're going to spend the money on a good graphics card, then why not go with the 200 series? The 2070 is probably the sweet spot right now. I know a lot of people that have the 2070 and they love it. So that's probably like the the to-go card right now. And the 2060 is not far behind. The 2060 is seeing some pretty decent numbers right now. And so yeah, I'm looking forward to the future of seeing these new cards. And I would like I would really like to see more of the 300 series benchmarking tests and versus the 200 series. I'm gonna start looking at those. So if you got the money to spend, but it's not really needed, you can get yourself the 300 series. I just think that you can build yourself a nice PC with the 200 series graphics cards and probably save yourself maybe $400 or $500 getting yourself a 20 or 200 series graphics card and putting the money more into memory and hard drive space or SSD. That I think you're better off doing that. And then in the future, the only thing that you would have to replace would be the graphics card, the GPU. Then possibly by then, the 300 series will be a lot faster, a lot quicker, and a lot smoother. So it would make sense to get your PC built up to the point where when you add a newer GPU, that your PC is going to be able to keep up with that GPU. And for me, building a new PC, it's always about the CPU, the memory, and the hard drive. Because those are the three components that are really going to make your PC seem really fast. And then lastly, always the GPU. Because without the other three, the GPU would run crappy. So just make sure that, you know, your PC is ready and foolproof by the time that you upgrade your GPU. And, you know, there's those out there that I know that have the 1080 card, the 1080 Ti, which is, by the way, an awesome graphics card. It still runs everything that you throw at it. So those people out there that still have those, they're lucky to have those, because those cards run really smooth and they get a lot of good performance and some really good frame rates out of that card. I've seen anywhere from 100 plus. 1660 Ti is a really nice card. Say they're upper. I was doing prices versus the 1650 and the 1660, and the prices for the 1650 is much card with 32 gigs of memory, had a 1 terabyte SSD drive, and a 2 terabyte hard drive. And I thought, well, hey, that's a pretty darn good, you know, price for that system. But when I saw the GTX 1650, and I was like, oh my God, the graphics card is going to be the bottleneck of that fast system. I mean, it's just, to me, it's just a waste. Ask any gamer out there, they'll tell you the same thing, you know. So don't forget to hit the like and subscribe button if you like this video, and I sure hope you do. And don't forget to hit the bell notification icon, and make sure you go to all when you hit the bell notification, so that way when I do go live like this, when I did a couple of test ones last night, check those out as well. Leave comments below, let me know what you think. Yeah, get better. I think it's only gonna get better. So yeah, let me know what you guys think. Let me know what kind of builds you have, you know. Let me know what specs you have. I always like to know what specs people have and what kind of performance they're seeing from their games, and you know, whether it's something that you hardly spend money on or versus something that you did spend a lot of money on. Are you having any issues? Are you having any problems with that card? You know, so let me know. Let me know in the comments below how your gaming PCs are running, and you know, are you happy with it? Are you looking into buying the new 200 or 300 series, or are you going to stick with your old school? Those people that have the 1080is, are you going to keep those for another 3 or 4 or 5 years, or are you looking to upgrade? You know, let me know. Let me know in the comments. Let me know in the comments below what you think. So I hope you guys enjoyed the stream. Hi everybody. My name is Gamer Dude Tech Dude. In front of it. Finally, I got Streamlabs to work. Good job, Streamlabs. This is something I've been wanting to do for quite some time. I wanted to be able to not just put a boring picture in the background with my picture. I wanted to kind of make it like what you do with OBS when you stream a game or whatnot. You know, I kind of want to have like that backdrop with a picture of myself speaking to you guys. It's kind of like, you know, more one-on-one with each other. And I really like the outcome of Streamlabs. So this is my first real stream that I did. So the reason why you're seeing that jumpiness at the beginning, I was having a little issue with Streamlabs. When I set everything up, and you have this little icon down below, it says go live. And there was a couple of times I would click the go live button and it would just sit there and just keep spinning and spinning and spinning and spinning. It wouldn't connect. It's like it wasn't connecting to YouTube, or, you know, so that it could push the stream out. It was just weird. So what I did was, now I don't know if this is a fix, I turned off my Wi-Fi literally, so I'm just streaming on the LTE right now. So for some reason that worked. When I hit go live, it went right into it, and I was like, whoa, really? So I'm learning, folks. I'm learning more about this, so please bear with me. There's going to be some hiccups. I'm almost sure of it. This whole streaming thing is new to me. I enjoy doing it. I love to share my my knowledge and my other stuff with you guys. I do tend to do another live stream recently, folks. The parks are back. Yes, sir. Guys and girls, the theme parks are back. Starting April 30th, Disneyland is going to open. I plan on streaming, going live. So be on the lookout for that. And of course, this is my brand new hat. It's got Mickey Mouse on it. I'm all ready. Now I know like some of you may be bored with some of my streams, and I know some of you may be bored with my live streams. My last live stream that I did was a few weeks ago. Actually, no, it was at the beginning of the month. I think it was on the 2nd of March, and that's when I had my doctor's appointment. That was my first real true live stream. I was just pretty much doing a test. I wanted to see how my sound sounded. I wanted to see how the picture sounded, how the video looked and whatnot, and if it was worth continuing with the staff. I have to see how well it works. And right now I'm running at 30 frames per second at 464 kilobytes per second, and I've been almost 30 minutes into the video, so I'm not seeing any drop packets or anything like that. So far it's been pretty darn smooth. So I really would like to do a live stream. So I may do a live stream maybe today, a little later, maybe tomorrow, or maybe in a couple days. I'm not sure. I really would like to do an outside walk. I know you guys are probably bored with that. You probably would rather see me like at a theme park or something. But not only I'm doing it for you guys, but I would like you guys to video good enough to keep on YouTube or give it the thumbs down and kick it out. So anyways, folks, I think I will end this video. This is one of those videos I do like to that I enjoy doing. I like talking about the graphics cards, and I really think that the ray tracing is the future. It's just I wish that before they came out with the 300 series, I wish NVIDIA would have had I wish they would have dug more into finding out why the RTX, why the ray tracing takes such a huge hit on your PCs these days. Really hope that they could fix that. I mean, especially for us hardcore gamers, you know, that spend money on these graphics cards and that would love to see, you know, at least bare minimal 60 frame rate. I mean, come on, 30, 28, 30, 34. Come on. It's like, you know, you spend $500–600 on a 3080 and you're only getting a 30 frame rate and you're running at 144, 240 hertz. I mean, that's just like, wow. I mean, really? So I would hope that NVIDIA could figure that out. And like I said, there is something going on right now where they found something about the farming chips and stuff like that with NVIDIA. So hopefully it looked in, hopefully, as possible, and, we'll start seeing faster GPUs. But I think the 200 series is your to-go-to GPU right now, if you can afford it. If not, get yourself the 1660 Ti if you really don't care about the ray tracing. Both cards will give you great performance. It will pretty much run everything that you throw at it. And you play with the graphic settings. You can't hurt anything. Play with the graphic settings, people. If you really want to push it to the limit, that's the best thing that you can do. If you're a techie and you're a troubleshooter, you cannot hurt these graphics cards by setting up lower or setting up the ultra settings in the graphics cards and whatnot, and messing around with the resolutions and the frame rates and stuff. You can't go around it. You can't hurt anything. You're just pretty much benchmarking yourself. You're testing out yourself and trying to figure out, what is gameplay experience. So keep that in mind. So I would like to send a shout out to my couple of my friends back in the UK, Justice and G. How you doing, guys? I know it's like 8 hours difference over there. Hope you guys are having a wonderful day today. Stay safe over there. And I would also like to say, send a shout out to my friend Valerie in San Diego. Valerie, having a her are going to start doing some live streams on Instagram and maybe eventually come into the YouTube channel. We're going to start doing pretty much what I'm doing right now, a talk show kind of a thing. And it's a project that she wanted to do. And so be on the lookout for that. I'm looking forward to that. She is going to have a show coming up. I can't remember. I think it's the 27th. I'll have to get to her on that, but I'll let you guys know. I'll let you guys know when that happens. So, okay, folks. Hoping you enjoy the rest of your day. Hope you enjoyed the stream. Keep it real. Be safe out there. Be good to people. Have a wonderful day. Take care wherever you are from all reaches of the world. This is Gamer Dude, Tech Dude, signing off. Peace out. Take care.